Gervonta Tank Davis, aka Abdul Wahid, versus Rayo Valenzuela on March 30th. Let's talk about that. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Boxing Unwrapped. If you're new here, please subscribe, share, like, comment, all that good stuff. I'll do some commentary here on my own personal opinion. I'll do some analysis here and there. But now let's talk about this fight. Now, I came across, listen, I follow Blue Blood Sports TV, Showbiz, a lot of those channels, Mill City Boxing. Love those guys. They do great work. This morning I see a video with Blue, saying that the next possible opponent, it's gonna be Rayo Valenzuela versus Gervonta Tank Davis. Now, I don't hate the fight. Now listen, but before we go there, now I couldn't find anything to back that up. Now, Blue says he has, by sources and all this, and look, he's more connected than I am, obviously, right? So if he says that's what he's hearing, and I gotta take that for what he's saying. All of the reports are from last year and early this month, right? Because we know that Rayo has been trying to get that fight off the ground. Now listen, Rayo just came up a great win. He's a bigger guy, in stature, things like that. I don't hate the fight. I don't hate it. But if I'm going to get this fight, instead of like Martin being next, which should be next, or one of the bigger guys like Haney or Lopez or someone like that, if it ain't going to be those guys, it should have been Martin. And if it ain't going to be Martin, I guess Valenzuela will do. And I'll accept Valenzuela for now if I'm going to get a super mega fight this year. We got to get one, and he hasn't had one yet. Ryan Garcia was his only super mega fight, and no one really gave Garcia a chance anyway. So what are we really saying when we're speaking about Gervonta Tank Davis, right, and his greatness? We're not saying much. Everybody's resume is better than Tank's, almost. It's time that Tank got in there with the best of the best that there is to offer. I like Valenzuela. He's not that. It's a good fight, don't get me wrong. It's a good, solid fight. And anything can happen in a boxing fight, in a boxing matchup. But we already know what might be the inevitable outcome of that fight, right? But I don't mind it if it's a tune-up to something great. I would love to hear a 2-fight plan. Like after that matchup and that match, if it does happen, Tank finally say, I want the big boys. I don't want nothing less for my next fight. We're going to try to make this happen in the next fight. Then I'll be like, great. But if then we get, like, let's say a rematch with Pitbull Cruz or something like that, then at that point, I'm just going to jump off, ever hoping to see something great being done in his prime. Because he's going to waste his prime, eventually fight some of these guys who are much younger than him, who are going to enter the real prime, and then probably beat the brakes off him. And I don't want to see that. I want to see him in his prime versus them entering their prime. And at least we can see who's got what, who is really the king. We can say who we think is the king, but we don't really know until you get in there. Nobody really thought that Antonio Tarver would knock out Roy Jones Jr., but it happened because he fought him. So we need those fights. And if he's going to take Valenzuela, then that's great. But you got to give me something else at the middle of the year, towards the end of the year. At least 2 good fights and 1 great one. And then we got to start moving around that way. If not, we're really going to have to reevaluate where he is and what he'll be remembered for. But let's see if that even happens. Let's see what he decides to do. Let me know in the comments below. Is this a good fight for you? Do you want more out of him? Would you accept this fight in lieu of something greater down the road? Let me know, and I'm out.